Hello, everyone. Welcome to the BNB Chain Hackathon 2024. I'm Jimmy. I'm the Senior Solution Architect at the BNB Chain. I'm specialized in blockchain technology. I've been instrumental in shaping the innovation solutions on the BNB Chain. Today, I'm very excited to introduce the challenges of our upcoming hackathon, which designed to inspire great innovations. Let's push the boundary in the blockchain together. So before we dive into the challenges, please allow me to introduce the OneStop Dev Stack of the BNB Chain. BNB Chain actually focuses on the mass adoption. We try to build faster and more affordable and scalable, and of course, the security multi-chain strategies for decentralized finance and data economy. In 2023, actually, BNB Chain has expanded from the BSC to multiple chain. For example, the OPBNB, which is our layer 2 solution, and also BNB Greenfield, which is our decentralized storage, to provide one BNB solution to cover the technical requirements of both the computational and storage in the typical Web3 dApps. A lot of interesting ideas actually leveraging this kind of the new multi-chain paradigms. If you can see the diagram, actually this diagram consists of the following components. On the left hand, you can see the dApps. dApps can be deployed to the BSC, which is layer 1, and OPBNB, which is our layer 2. Both of them are EVM compatible. So it can provide a programmable interface to the one BNB chain ecosystem. In the business logic, of course, it is the backend of an application. So developer can deploy the smart contracts to the L1 and the L2 of the BNB chain. On the right hand, you can see the Greenfield, which is our decentralized storage network that can store objects. Ideally, it could be larger than 128 kilobytes. It can be seamlessly connected to the BSC and OPBNB by cross-chain programmability. I will introduce the programmability later. So you can see here, actually the storage infrastructure can provide the web hosting and also for example, the databases such as the Glacier or can be used to store the structured data. And it also provides the data availability layer solutions, just like the engine layer or Celestia, that can be used to guarantee the availability of data stored on the Greenfield. For example, the dApp can store the data on the Greenfield, then link the data to the smart contracts. And this allows the dApps to access and manage the data in a secure and decentralized way. Let me give you some examples so that you can have a better idea how the BNB chain, one BNB chain can provide the programmability and also is one-stop Dev Stack. For example, the dApp can sell the NFTs that could use the Greenfield to store the images that associate with the NFT. The dApp could then link to these images to the smart contracts on the left hand in the business logic, which allows the user to view and verify the NFTs without having to download them to their own devices. Another example is that message dApp can use the Greenfield to store the chat messages between users. This could allow users to send and receive messages without having to rely on the centralized server. And also the social media platform could use the BNB chain to develop the user profiles and store the posts, and also allow users to share their posts through the smart contract. And of course, the application's front end can also be hosted in the Greenfield, which provides the web hosting services. And decentralized finance, the DeFi protocol can use this kind of capability to loans and investments and other financial transactions, which allow users to participate in DeFi activities without having to trust a centralized server. So let me dive deeper to the programmability and on-chain storage. For example, let me use a game as a model, as example, which when a user gets a new virtual assets, yearly, the assets will be saved through the BNB Greenfield. So you can see here, interact directly with the BNB Greenfield, and the file will be stored on the storage providers. So we have a storage provider networks. And the creation of the object, the event will be measured to the left hand, which is BSE or OPBNB, through the cross-chain communication layer. So the DApp will, have the information about the new virtual assets, and then the user can use the NFT, which actually the storage saved on the Greenfield will be measured as a NFT, which is the BEP 721. And any device like the in-game exchanges or NFT exchanges can allow users to exchange the NFT to change the ownership or change the permission of this file. So the virtual assets in game will be exchanged. The user then share the object with another user or sell it to another user. So this kind of the events will be relayed back to the Greenfield to change the permission on the storage. So this kind of the flow can provide the programmability for the on-chain storage. Now let's talk about the challenges of this hackathon. Actually, the challenges are the tracks we want to inspire the community to develop innovative solutions on the BNB chain. So our first challenge actually is AI generative content ledger. So there are two major goals of this challenge actually, because in the recent AI hype, AI quick development, the challenges also comes with the latest development of the technology. For example, the rise of the cybercrime, the fake news or deep fake due to the widespread of generative AI technology. So AI generated content can be very confusing to the users. Users are really difficult to distinguish which one is the original file and which one is AI generated or AI modified. So the goal of this challenge is to track and verify the origin and the credibility of the digital content. So we are actually hope the community can solve this big problem of the AI challenges. It is better that we can include the content credentials that confirms the content authenticity of the AI generated file. For example, if you can see the left hand, if I click the content or if I click the button of the information, the credential, the authenticity credential can be displayed whether this file is original or is faked or is modified. At the same time, the user can download the content credentials with the content directly. And by doing this, it enabling the creators to profit their AI enhanced works by marketplace built with the BNB Greenfield. So we recommend use a content authenticity initiative protocol. So this protocol can use to generate this kind of the credentials and can be embedded the content creator identity and track changes to the digital content. So you can find the references link here to have a better understanding. I just mentioned that there is another object of this challenge is to allow creators to commercialize their AI enhanced creations. The focus is to build a fair creative reward system where the participants are transparently and fairly rewarded their work. Creator can upload their works to the marketplace and get rewards for their outputs. A marketplace can be built with a native file access control mechanism of a Greenfield or smart contract to support the OPBNB and BSC network. So this can boost, the AI generated content ecosystem and economy that the creator can also benefit from doing this. So this is the first challenge we want to see in this hackathon. And if you have any better ideas, of course, you can also contribute the innovative solution for the challenge one. The next challenge actually is our infrastructure layer. We call it empowering OPBNB with advanced analytics support. So this challenge actually tried to revolutionize the layer 2 analytics. I know there are a lot of analytics platform on the market, but for the OPBNB, we have very large data and very quick block time, and the transaction volume is also much larger than our than other layer 2s on the market. So this could be a data burden for us. And we also want to create an initiative, an analytics dashboard for the layer 2 insights. So the users can see a lot of different informations, for example, the DeFi protocol or the usage of the layer 2, etc., etc. And this challenge, we want to have this kind of analytics, a dashboard or a data indexing tools can be open sourced. We also want to have a block explorer that can use the open source data to generate the real-time statistic dashboard. So another thing I want to mention is that we want to have a data source to be queryable, which means that it is better that we can have a SQL-like query to allow developers to just create query scripts to get the latest information. So it's I know it's very comprehensive analytics support for the users, and we want to make sure the user gain the valuable data insights to enhance the efficiency and effectiveness of the layer 2 activities. So this kind of things will increase the transparency about the usage of the layer 2 and also the OPBNB. Next, the challenge actually is the OPBNB on-chain game. So game is always the very hot topic in the Web3 industry. So we can see a lot of the people are talking about what kind of the play-to-earn model, how the Web3 games should be like. But our belief is that games must be fun to play with, right? So if we can provide better gamer experiences and the fun to play games, that's the key. But we can use also utilize the blockchain technology to provide the innovation solutions. For example, the economy and also the immutability of the blockchain, how to manage the identity to protect the privacy of the gamers. This kind of the content aspect must be considered. So there are a lot of the on-chain game challenges. We can see that. The first one, of course, the high latency, especially for the Web3 games or fully on-chain game. Traditionally, the centralized server can provide very low latency, and their servers can be deployed across the different locations on globally. But the Web3 games, if the game is fully on-chain, people interact with the blockchain can be high latency. So we want to use the layer 2 solutions BNB Chain right now have is the OPBNB, and then we want to reduce the latency and make the users' experiences much better. Another challenge we have right now is compared with the traditional games is the high cost, especially for the transaction fees. So that's the reason why we introduced the OPBNB, extremely low cost. Even the game developers can sponsor the transaction cost. So if you can utilize the OPBNB low cost, or you can sponsor your gamers' transaction fees, that will be making the games much better. I mean, from the gamers' user experiences. And Web3, if you want to make the game fully on-chain, the game assets and activity storage is another challenge, especially for the expensive chains like the Ethereum or any other chains that the game assets usually are saved off-chain. For example, can be saved in the centralized storage, or can be saved in IPFS or the Filecoin and other places. So, but we want to make sure the game, not only the NFT or the assets, but also the game activity for example, the playback videos or conversations within the game or the screenshot, this kind of things, achievement can also be saved on chain. So we want to make this kind of the game makes the game vulnerable to the hacks and censorship, and all the activities can be traced, can be recorded by the gamer. So another thing I want to mention is that if we can provide a open source game developer tools or the SDKs, it's very helpful for the ecosystem develop. So if you can develop a developer tools or SDK that based on the OPBNB for the fully on-chain game, that is our preference. So let's work together to solve this kind of the challenges I just talked about. So the challenge 4 actually is a decentralized physical infrastructure with the BNB chain. So actually, this challenge, we want to solve two major objectives. One is to introduce the transformative approach in the infrastructure. I mean, the transformative approach means that the architecture design to make sure the infrastructure resources can be shared and also can provide reliable and censorship resistant infrastructure. Another objective we want to have is harness the power of decentralization to create more resilient and efficient and more adaptable to challenges of changing demands. For example, in this region or in one region, the requirements changes very fast. The network can expand very quickly and have enough incentives to abstract more users and the service providers in a decentralized way. So we are looking for a team or developers who can create the decentralized physical infrastructure networks with the BNB tech tab. It represents a new paradigm shift from the traditional centralized infrastructure models to a more dynamic distributed systems. This transformative approach, which underpins various technology sectors, let's consider the composability, community ownership or driven, and also depends on the free market incentives. Let me give you some examples. One is the Internet of Things. Another actually is a decentralized database or message queue. So if you want to have more users to use the storage or the computing resources, this kind of things will be very helpful. And of course, the AI. So if you can create a solution that can decentralize the AI machines for AI or data processing, that will be very interesting, I believe, to the BNB chain ecosystem. So the next challenge 5, actually, we want to see in the ecosystem is the decentralized social network. So our goal is to innovate on the social network with the blockchain technology. Of course, this is the most important. But we want to see the protection and the tokenized user data and contents. For example, the conversations, the users' profiles and channels, these kind of things can be protected and tokenized. And of course, it must be censorship resistance. So actually, this challenge, we are looking for a team or developer who can create a decentralized social networks on the BNB chain ecosystem. It should be a crypto native platform that supports the various social features such as messaging, live streaming, and content sharing, blogging, etc., etc. It is better that the social network can also be integrated with the game platform. So I know the game platform also have the requirement to interact with each other. For example, if you want to have a team to fight together to fight a war, this kind of socialization, social network can be very helpful as well. So the network should also leverage the power of the smart contracts, the social assets, and the product functions on the OPBNB and BSC. So especially for the execution layer, it could be on the OPBNB. The settlement layer can be on the BSC. So it can enable the new ways of the monetizing for the content creators and the users. So it is better that the social media can store the data on the greenfield on our decentralized storage solution. And also, the network should eliminate the need for intermediaries and provide a better value proposition for its participants. So I really hope that we can see a lot of social media, decentralized social media applications on the BNB chain, so that can provide real value for our users. Our challenge 6 actually is talking about some decentralized science. So if you are familiar with the science research sector, you will realize that there are multiple challenges in current existing mechanism. For example, the open access to the scientific data and the platforms. It's very difficult and very expensive, especially if the researchers have to purchase the subscription services to get the latest information. And a crowdsourced peer review is another challenge because the funding actually is controlled by the centralized institutions. And also we want to guarantee the ownership, the data ownership, or the research ownership to the researchers. It's not users can easily to check the references and the changes or the latest development of the data. So this kind of things are challenges we are having right now. So by doing the decentralized science, we hope that we can address this kind of the long-standing challenges. So I hope so. I hope that the decentralized science can utilize the blockchain technology and the Web3 community principles to transform the scientific ecosystem through the open access to research, the decentralized preview, peer review, and the crowdsourcing, the funding and NFT-based data ownership, and also the seamless data sharing and collaboration. So by addressing these challenges, I think that decentralized science has the potential to accelerate the scientific progress, enhance the transparency and accountability, and promote the equitable research, democratize the scientific knowledge, and create new economic opportunities for researchers. So if you are working on this trend, please give us some, the latest and very innovative solution to solve any one of this problem. Not all of them, but maybe one or two of them will be very helpful as well. So here, I just listed all the knowledge base of the BNB chain. So you can see here, we have the BSC faucet, so that you can get the test token from our faucet. At the same time, I listed the OPBNB documents, so you can read the documents to have a better understanding how the OPBNB work. As well, you can use the OPBNB bridge to deposit tokens from the BSC to the OPBNB and backward as well. And you can also use our explorers to check the transactions and check the blocks. For the greenfield, I also placed the documentation here. I just want to mention that we already have a DCeller, which is the UID app to allow you to directly using the greenfield to understand how the greenfield works. But also we can also use the SDK or CLI tools to interact with the greenfield. And for your references, I also listed BNB Chain Dev Tools landscape, so you can query which tools you are interested in that can be integrated with your solution. That can speed up your development work as well. Yeah, that's pretty much I have. And thank you for your time. And here is the time I can answer any questions. Hand back to you, Tiana.